In Burkina Faso, a remarkable event unfolded, driven by the collective spirit of its people. Without foreign aid, without grand announcements, and without the world's attention, thousands united to clean their country. This was not a protest or a political campaign, but a simple act of care for their communities. It began with a single request from President Ibrahim Traoré. He did not hold a press conference or launch a sophisticated government program with experts and budgets. Instead, he asked the people of Burkina Faso to take responsibility for their surroundings. Leading by example, he swept streets alongside ordinary citizens in the capital city, Ouagadougou. There were no cameras for international news, no foreign reporters crafting stories. The message was straightforward. This is our country, and we must care for it ourselves. That message spread rapidly, from bustling cities to quiet rural villages. People did not wait for instructions or funding. They grabbed brooms, shovels, wheelbarrows, gloves, and buckets, and they began working. Approximately 15,000 people across Burkina Faso joined in, not because they were compelled, but because they wanted to improve their home. This was not a one-day effort, but a 7-day movement called National Sanitation Week. People cleaned schools, markets, hospitals, roads, and neighborhoods. No foreign organizations led the effort, no one was paid with food or cash, and no soldiers enforced participation. It was entirely voluntary, spanning the entire nation. This story is grounded in reality, supported by trusted sources, official reports, and the lived experiences of those involved. It is not fiction or exaggeration, but a testament to a nation taking pride in itself. For those who believe in an Africa that addresses its own challenges, this story is worth sharing to highlight the true spirit of Burkina Faso. The movement began with one man's simple idea. President Ibrahim Traoré did not deliver a grand televised speech or promise rewards. He simply asked people to clean their communities, emphasizing it was their duty to keep their country tidy. More importantly, he acted. In Ouagadougou, people saw him sweeping streets, picking up trash, and working alongside regular citizens. He was not surrounded by bodyguards or issuing orders from an office. He was out there, hands dirty, showing everyone could contribute. This was not about gaining international attention. No news crews or global reporters followed him. It was about Burkina Faso taking care of itself. The president's actions sent a powerful message. If the country's leader could clean streets, so could everyone else. Inspired, people did not need further prompting. From major cities to small villages, they organized themselves. The call to action spread quickly, with neighbors talking to neighbors, community leaders sharing the message, and young people rallying their friends. Within days, entire towns were buzzing with excitement about the cleanup. This was the start of a movement not driven by money or fame, but by a shared responsibility for their land. For 7 days, Burkina Faso became a nation of action. National Sanitation Week was not just a title. It was a time when 15,000 people united to make their country cleaner. They used simple tools, brooms, shovels, buckets, and their hands. From Ouagadougou to smaller towns like Manga, Dori, Tenkodogo, and Gowa, everyone participated. In the capital, people cleaned public roads and bus stations, sweeping away dust and removing years of accumulated trash. In Bobo-Dioulasso, the second largest city, groups cleared garbage-filled alleyways. In smaller towns, villagers cleaned streets, markets, and public spaces. They had no large budget or foreign assistance, only a collective goal to improve their living spaces. This was a massive effort reaching every corner of the country. Men and women, young and old, rich and poor worked together. Even soldiers participated, not as enforcers but as citizens helping neighbors. Everyone was equal in this effort, joining voluntarily because they believed in a cleaner Burkina Faso. Significant changes occurred in schools across the country. Teachers and students collaborated to clean classrooms, schoolyards, and even toilets. In some schools, classes ended early so everyone could help. Students swept floors, wiped desks, and cleared playground trash. Teachers scrubbed windows and tidied entrances. Parents, seeing the effort, joined in without being asked, eager to improve their children's schools. Some went beyond cleaning, repainting faded walls, fixing broken benches, and clearing courtyard weeds. In Zinyar, students and teachers transformed a neglected school by sweeping classrooms, clearing the yard, and planting trees to make it greener. Parents brought buckets of water to wash floors. By the week's end, the school felt renewed. Teachers noticed increased student attendance, not because children suddenly loved studying, but because clean, welcoming classrooms made school more inviting. Parents were pleased to see their children learning in tidy environments. The cleanup gave students better places to learn and grow. Hospitals and clinics also saw transformation during National Sanitation Week. Nurses and doctors did not stay in their offices. They swept walkways, cleared trash, and tidied compounds. Volunteers joined, wiping benches and clearing paths. In some areas, years of piled-up trash were removed. In a Kudugu clinic, nurses and patients cleaned the courtyard, making it easier to walk without tripping over garbage. These changes had tangible impacts. Nurses reported walking to work without navigating trash piles. Doctors noted fewer flies and odors around clinics. In rural areas, health workers observed fewer cases of illnesses like diarrhea, often linked to poor sanitation. While no formal studies confirmed this, those working in clinics saw the differences firsthand. Patients felt more comfortable visiting cleaner health centers, and workers took pride in their tidy workplaces. In the village of P, volunteers cleaned a cluttered health post, removing old plastic bags, broken bottles, and debris. They scrubbed benches and swept paths, transforming the health post by week's end. Nurses reported a safer environment with fresher air, making a significant impact on the community. Markets, vital to Burkina Faso's communities, also benefited. Many were littered with trash under stalls and in walkways. During the cleanup, traders paused their work to clean. Food vendors scrubbed stall areas, and in Bobo Dioulasso, groups cleared blocked alleyways. In Kaya, young people cleaned the main bus station, easing travel. In Zorgo, villagers tidied the area around a community health post, picking up trash and clearing weeds. In Wahiguya, traders cleaned under stalls, removing old food scraps and plastic bags. By the week's end, markets were cleaner than they had been in years. Traders felt prouder of their work in tidy surroundings, and customers found shopping more pleasant. Public roads and drainage systems also received attention. Clogged drains, filled with plastic bags and bottles, caused flooding during rains. Volunteers unclogged these by hand, ensuring water could flow. In Wahiguya, a group spent hours clearing a long blocked drainage canal, making streets safer. These efforts improved daily life, making markets, roads, and bus stations cleaner and more functional. What made this cleanup extraordinary was its grassroots nature. No foreign organizations led it, no one was paid, and no consultants dictated plans. It was voluntary, driven by a belief in a cleaner country. For years, many in Burkina Faso thought progress required foreign aid or experts. This cleanup proved otherwise, showing change could start with the people using simple tools. In mosques and churches, leaders framed the cleanup as a moral duty to care for the land. Elders recalled times when communities collaborated without orders, building houses or clearing fields together. The cleanup revived this communal spirit, driven by pride rather than competition or rewards. It transformed daily life. Nurses walked to work without stepping over trash, doctors noted cleaner clinics, and traders worked in tidier markets. In Afada Ngorma market, trader Asada saw increased customers after the cleanup, as the market felt welcoming. Schools became happier places, with students attending more regularly in cleaner environments. The cleanup shifted how people viewed their role as citizens. Many had believed development needed external funding or experts, but this effort showed they could act independently. It fostered a sense of empowerment, proving they could shape their future without waiting for permission. Local leaders praised the effort, with elders like Ousmane in Busuma noting it revived communal traditions. Spiritual leaders in mosques and churches called it a duty to care for their land, adding dignity to the work. The cleanup created a shared pride across Burkina Faso. People worked not for fame or money, but because their country deserved better. President Traoré's leadership was pivotal. He did not just issue orders. He cleaned alongside citizens in Ouagadougou and other towns, showing leadership through action. His example inspired thousands like Issouf and Banfor who joined because the president did. Traoré's hands-on approach demonstrated that progress could start with one person acting and inspiring others.